Assalamu alaikum student. Today I will solve the ASNE level paper 1 October November 2022. Now let's start the paper. In 1 points A and B have coordinates 5, 2 and 10 minus 1 respectively. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector AB. Now we draw a line AB here. This is the line AB. The coordinates of A is 5, 2 and the points B coordinates 10 minus 1. And suppose this point M is the midpoint. You see here we have to find the equation of perpendicular bisector. Now suppose this line is the perpendicular bisector and the line, we name it the line L. Now we have to find the equation of this line. Now to find the equation of line, firstly we have to find the gradient of the line. Now the gradient of the line we name it M2 and the gradient of line is named as M1. Now firstly we find the gradient of M1. Now the gradient of line MAB is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 formula we use here. Now we write it y2 is minus 1 and y1 is 2 divided by x2 is 10 minus 5. This is the gradient of line AB. Now we calculate it, that's equal to minus 3 over 5. We know the gradient of line L will be negative reciprocal of the gradient of AB. Now the gradient of line L is equal to negative reciprocal of gradient of AB. We know very well the reason is that line is perpendicular to AB. The line M is perpendicular to line AB, therefore the gradient will be negative reciprocal to each other. Now that value is minus 1 over minus 3 over 5, that becomes 5 over 3 is the gradient of the required line. Now to find the equation, we have to find the point. This point is the midpoint between A and B. Now the point N will be equal to x into y, that will be equal to, now we add the coordinate to find the coordinate of midpoint. Now 10 plus 5 over 2 minus 1 plus 2 over 2. Now the midpoint we name it as x1 y1. That value will be equal to 15 over 2 and 1 over 2. Now the equation of line L which is perpendicular to AB, that value, the equation will be y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. Now here the x1 and y1 is 15 over 2. Now is x1 is 1 over y1 is 1 over 2 and n is the 5 over 3. X minus x1 is 15 over 2. Now we can write it as 2y minus 1 over 2 and that is equal to 5 over 3 into 2x minus 15 over 2. That will be equal to 2y minus 1 over 2. Now 2 will be cancelled here. You can cancel it. Therefore 2y minus 1 into 3 multiplied by 3, that's equal to 5 into 2x minus 15. Now that value 6y minus 3 equal to 10x minus 75 and that will be equal to 6y minus 10x equal to minus 73. Now we take 3 as a common, 2 as a common, that's value 3y minus 5x equal to minus 36. Now this equation divided by 2, That value should be equal to 3y minus 5x equal to minus 36. This is the answer. Part B, find the equation of circle with center A and which passes through the point B. To find the equation of a circle, firstly we draw a circle here. We draw the circle here. This is the center of the circle. 5, 2. A is the center of the circle, and that's the point B which passes through the circle. That's point B. Now you see the equation of the circle, that's the equation circle x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square, that's equal to r square. Now the a and b are the center of the circle. This is the a and b. Now we can write it as x minus 5 whole square plus y is 2, y minus 2 whole square. Now the radius of the circle we mention r square. You see here, this is the radius of circle. Now we can find the radius of the circle by using different formula. That's r square will be equal to x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. That's equal to x2 is name is x2 x1 and x1 y1. Now 10 minus 5 whole square plus minus 1 minus 2 whole square. That radius will be equal to 5 square, that is 25, and minus 3 whole square, that is equal to 9. 3 square is 9, that will be equal to 34. Now that's value of r square put in this equation 1. This is equation 1 now. The x minus 5 whole square, that will be equal to y minus 2 whole square, that is equal to 34. Now that's equal to a square minus 10x plus 25. We use the identity rule a minus b whole square. Now same as the y square minus 4y plus 2 square is 4. That's equal to 34. Now x square plus y square minus 10x minus 4y and 24 plus 4, that is equal to 29, and this is equal to 34. Now the equation of the circle will be x square plus y square minus 10x minus 4y, and that's 29 minus 34 is minus 5 equal to 0. This is the answer. Question 2, the first, second, and third term of an arithmetic progression are a, 2a, a square respectively, where a is a positive constant. Find the sum of the first three terms of the progression. Now you see here the first term a, second is 2a, third is a square. This is the arithmetic progression. Therefore, the difference between two consecutive terms will be same. Now we can write it 2a minus a is equal to a square minus 2a. Now we simplify it. That value will be a equal to a square minus 2a, and therefore when we shift a from left to right side, that becomes a minus 2a minus a, that's equal to minus 3 equal to 0, and that's a into a minus 3 equal to 0. Now we can write it as a equal to 0, a minus 3 equal to 0. Therefore, a will be equal to 3, and this will be the first value because we have to take the positive constant value. Now to find the sum of first 50 terms, the formula in the, you can see the formula sheet, the sum of terms in a term, that value is then Sn will be equal to n over 2 into 2 times of a plus n minus 1 into b. Here the n is the 50 and first term is a. Now you can write it 2 into a 3, and another term is 50 minus 1 is 49, and b, you can find b, the 2a minus a. You see here to find b, we find the b that is equal to b equal to 2a minus a, that is equal to a, therefore b will be equal to also up 3. Now to put the value here, B is 3. Now the answer will be equal to 25 into 6 plus 49 multiplied by 3 is 147. That value will be equal to 25 into 6 plus 47, 153. Now we calculate it. You can see here the 25 multiplied by 153. The answer will be equal to 3,825. 3,825 is the answer. Question 3 part A. Find the set of values k for which equation 8x squared plus kx plus 2 has no real root. And you see here this is the quadratic equation 8x squared plus kx plus 2 equal to 0. Now the discriminant of this equation will be less than 0 because the roots are no real roots. Now therefore we can write it the discriminant b square minus 4ac less than 0 for no real roots. Therefore here we find the value of a and b. Now you see here the value of a is 8 and value of b is k and the value of C is 2. Now we substitute the value in this inequality. That is equal to B square is equal to A square minus 4 times of A is, you see here, is 8 and C is 2. Now that value will be equal to A square minus 4 is 32 into 2, that's equal to 64. Less than 0. Now we can write it k square k plus 8 into k minus 8. Now we factorize it, therefore we get this. Now you see here, now we form a quadratic curve here, we form a quadratic curve. Now you see this is the value is 8 and minus 8, this value is 8, so that is 8 and this is the minus 8. Now you form a curve in here. When the value is less than 0, it means the value within this range. Now you see here we shade the below region and that shows the value of k. Now the range of k value will be less than 8. Now we can write it and greater than minus 8. And this is the answer. Or we solve the equation 8 cos square theta minus 10 cos theta plus 2 equal to 0. Theta is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to 1 equal to 0. Now, firstly, we take the common in this equation. 8 cos theta minus 10 cos theta plus 2 equal to 0. That 2 can be taken as a common. Now, that value will become 4 cos theta minus 5 cos theta plus 1 equal to 0 because we divide this equation by 2. Therefore, now we more simplify it and we factorize this equation. Now, how can we factorize? We multiply the coefficient of cos square is 4 2 into 1. We get 4 into 1 is 4. Now, we take two factors. When we multiply, the answer is 4. When we add, the answer is minus 5. Therefore, minus 4 and minus 1 we take as a factor. Now we write it as 4 cos square theta minus 4 cos theta minus 1 cos theta. That will be equal to plus 1 equal to 0. Now we take a common. That is 4 cos theta. That's equal to cos theta minus 1. And minus 1 is common here. That's equal to cos theta minus 1 equal to 0. Now 4 cos theta minus 1 into cos theta minus 1 equal to 0. There are two factors here. Now we can write it cos 4 cos theta minus 1 equal to 0 or cos theta minus 1 equal to 0. It means now the cos theta will be equal to 1 over 4 and cos inverse theta will be equal to cos inverse 1 over 4 and that theta will be equal to cos inverse 1. Now we find the value Now here you can see here this is the range of the angle is 0 to 180. Therefore, the angle in between first and second quadrant. The cos is positive in the first quadrant and the second and the fourth quadrant. Now, therefore, we take the value only in the first quadrant. Now we can write it as that is equal to alpha will be equal to cos inverse 1 over 4. We calculate it. Now the cos inverse 1 over 4 is 75.5. We can write it 75.5. Therefore, now the alpha and theta will be equal to alpha because the values lie in the first quadrant. The angle lies in the first quadrant, therefore we can write it as 75.5 is the answer. Now we take the cos inverse 1, that will be equal to, this is 0. This is the answer. Very geometric progression such that third term is 1764, sum of second and third term is 3444. Find the 50th term. Now we suppose that the first term is A and second is AR and third is AR square of symmetric progression. Now here is the third term, this is the third term, that is equal to 1764. And the sum of second and third term, this is the second and first third term, AR plus AR square, that will be equal to 3444. Now we suppose this is equation 2 and this equation 1. We subtract the 2 from 1. Now 2 from 1, therefore we get the value of AR. You see here, when we subtracting that AR will be equal to 3444 minus 1764. Now we subtract it, we get the 1680. This is the value of AR, 1680. And now we divide this equation 1 by third, divided by third equation by 1. Now we see that when we divided AR square divided by AR, now that's equal to 1764 divided by 1680. That's R will A will be cancelled. Now we find the value of R. Now to simplify this, find the 50th term. Firstly, we have to find the first term value. Now you see here that AR will be equal to 1680 and R is equal to 3 will be equal to 1680 divided by R. Now that's equal to A will be equal to 1680 multiplied by 20 over 21. Now we calculate it. In 1680 multiplied by 20 over 21, the answer is 1600. We write it 1600 is the answer. Now the A equal to 1600. Now the 50th term value, 350, that will be equal to, the formula is AR n minus 1. That is the nth term formula for geometric progression. Now A is 1600 and R is 21 over 20 and is the 50 minus 1 is 49. Now we calculate it. Here the answer is 17,474. Now we take the 3SF value, that will be equal to 1,700, 17,500 is the answer because the neighboring digit is more than 5, that's the 4 becomes 5 and other digits is written as 0. Now this is the answer. The graph with equation y equal to f of x is transformed with the equation y equal to g of x by a stretch in the x direction with factor 0.5 followed by translation 0, 1. The diagram shows the graph y equal to f of x On the diagram, sketch the graph y equal to g of x. Now you see here the graph is y equal to f of x. These are the coordinate points of the uh, y equal to f of x graph. Now these points you see here the stretching in the x direction. When the stretching in x direction, the coordinates of y remain same, but the coordinate of x will be changed. Now the coordinates of x here is the factor is 0.5, y equal to f of x. Now when we the scale factor is 0.5, stretching scale factor 0.5. Now that's suppose a equal to 0.5. Now this graph will become stretching in x direction with factor 0.5 that will be equal to 1 over a x, and that's equal to f of 1 over 0.5 x, and it means that will be equal to f of 2x. And when the f of 2x, we divide the x coordinate by 2. Here you see here the coordinates of first coordinate is 0, 1. Now we divide the 0, 1. Now we divide the coordinate by 2. This next new coordinate will be 0 divided by 2, 0, 1. And this is the q of x graph coordinate. When we divide the next coordinate, you see here, this is the 1, 3. Now this is 1, 3. We divide by 2, the x coordinate, we get 0.53. And same as the next is 2, 1. Now 2, 1, that's value will be equal to 1, 1. And third is the fourth is the 3, that is 3, 3, 3, 3. That it would become 1 divided by 2, 1.53. And same as here, last is the coordinate is 4, 1. When we divide by 2, that's equal to 2, 1. Now we mark the point here. 0, 1, that is 0, 1, that is 0, 1. Next is 0.53, and that is 0.53. This is the 0.53. And same as 1, 1, that is 1, 1. And next is 1.53, and that is equal to 1.53. This is the 1.53. And next is 2, 1. 2, 1, this is 2, 1. Now we join these. This is the stretching in x direction of f of x. And this is the stretching. Okay. Now you see here, this graph also translate by 0, 1. When the translation 0, 1, it means we have to shift the graph vertically 1 unit. Now we shift all these points vertically 1 unit. You see here, this is 0, 1 vertically above 1 unit. That is vertically above 1 unit, and that point is vertically above 1 unit. That point vertically above 1 unit, and this is point vertically above 1 unit, and same is 1 unit. Now we see the graph, new graph, that is, this is the new graph, you see here, and this graph is y equal to, this is y equal to g of x, and this is the answer. Now you see here, find an expression for g of x in terms of f of x. Now you can see here the g of x is equal to, firstly we stretch the graph with in x direction with scale factor 0.5, that is equal to f of 1 over 0.5 x plus we have shift the graph, translate the graph 0, 1, it means plus 1. Therefore, we can write it as g of x f of 2x plus 1. This is the answer. Question 6. The equation of curve is y equal to 4x squared plus 20x plus 6. Express the equation in this form. To make the equation in this form, firstly I take the 4 as a common from first two terms. Now we see here 4 into x squared plus 5x plus 6, and this expression becomes, now to complete square, firstly we 4 x squared plus 5x, and we divide the coefficient of x by 2, we get 5 over 2. Now we take the square of this value and we subtract this, we see that that value becomes x plus 5 over 2 whole square. Now next value is minus 25 over 4 plus 6. Now next 4 into x plus 5 over 2 whole square is written as it is. Now we multiply 4 by this, we get minus 25 over 4 multiply 4 plus 6. That value could be 4 into x plus 5 over 2 whole square. 4 will be cancelled. Minus 25 plus 6 minus 19. That's the answer. Solve the equation 4x squared plus 20x plus 6. And this equation 4x squared plus 20x plus 6 can be written as in this form. Now you see here 4 into x plus 5 over 2 whole square. That will be minus 19 equal to 45. Now we can write it as 4 into x plus 5 over 2 whole square. That's equal to 45 plus 19. And that value will be equal to 64. And next is the 4 into x plus 5 over 2 whole square. And we can write it x plus 5 over 2 whole square is equal to 64 over 4. That's equal to 16. Now to simplify, to take square root on both sides. Now that value becomes x plus 5 over 2. That will be equal to plus minus 4. The square root of 16 is plus minus 4. Therefore, we can write it as x plus 5 over 2 equal to plus 4. And that's equal to x plus 5 over 2. That's equal to minus 4. Now that value will be equal to x equal to 4 minus 5 over 2. That will be equal to 3 over 2. So time 2 is 8, 8 minus 5 is 3 over 2. And same here is minus 4 minus 5 over 2. That will be equal to minus 8 minus 5 minus 13 over 2. And this is the answer. Part C, sketch the graph of y equal to 4x squared plus 20x plus 6. Showing the coordinates of the stationary points not required to indicate the curve process x and y axis. Now, here is the graph y equal to 4x squared plus 20x plus 6, x 20x plus 6. Now we can write this as we already proved that the 4 times x plus 5 over 2 whole square minus 19. This value can be written as, therefore, this value, from this graph, we can see that here we see here the minus 5 over 2 and minus 19 is the turning points of this graph. This is the turning points. Now we draw the graph here. Now mention the numbers minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and same as on y-axis. I mentioned the points minus, that suppose minus 5, minus 10, minus 15, and this is the minus 20. Now we have to mark minus 5 over 2, minus 19. This is the minus 5 over 2, and that point is minus 5 over 2. And the next is minus 19, that will be the minus 19. Now, and the curve of this quadratic equation, and that is the shape of this quadratic equation and towards upward because the coefficient is positive. And this is the graph of y equal to 4x squared plus 20x. Question 7, part A, prove the identity sin theta or sin theta plus cos theta or sin theta minus cos theta. That's equal to tan square theta plus 1 over tan square theta minus 1. Now we take the left hand side. Now we take the LCM of this sin theta plus cos theta into sin theta minus cos theta. That value becomes sin theta into that sin theta sin plus cos theta will be cancelled, and the remaining value sin theta minus cos theta we write it as cos theta is greater than negative into sin theta minus cos theta will be cancelled. The remaining expression is sin theta plus cos theta. Now that sin theta will multiply to sin minus cos, now we get the sin squared theta minus sin into sin theta into cos theta, and that next is cos theta into sin theta plus cos squared theta over sin theta plus cos theta into sin theta minus cos theta. We can write it as sin squared theta minus cos squared theta. We use the identity a plus b into a minus b, that's equal to a square minus b square. Now you see here that the sin cos theta will be cancelled. Now the remaining is sin theta plus cos theta, sin square theta plus cos square theta divided by sin square theta minus cos square theta. Okay. Now here we can divide this value by cos square theta. Now to find the right hand side, tan square theta plus 1 over tan square theta minus 1. If we divide this by cos square theta on denominator and numerator, now we get the sin square theta over cos square theta plus cos square theta divided by cos square theta, and thing here is sin square theta plus minus sin square theta divided by cos square theta plus minus cos square theta divided by cos square theta. Now sin our cos, sin theta over cos theta is that's equal to tan theta. Now we can write it as tan square theta plus 1. And same as the denominator in the sin square over cos square is tan square theta minus 1. And this is the right hand side. Hence the identity proof the left hand side equal to right hand side. In part B, hence the find exact solution of equation sin theta was sin theta plus cos theta plus cos theta was sin theta minus cos theta that equal to 2. Theta is greater than equal to 0 and less than equal to. Now we can write this left hand side as 1 tan square theta plus 1 tan square theta plus 1 over tan square theta minus 1. We already proved in the previous part this left hand side is equal to right hand side. Now you see here this is the value. Now we can now we simplify it. Tan square theta plus 1 equal to 2 times tan square theta minus 2. Now 2 tan square theta minus tan square theta equal to 1 plus 2 is 3. Now we can write it as tan square theta will be equal to 3, that value equal to 3. Now tan theta will be equal to square root of 3 plus minus square root of 3. Now so you see here the theta in between 0 to 5, therefore the theta will lie in first and second quadrant. Now firstly we find the acute angle value as alpha is equal to tan inverse square root of 3. Now you see here the tan inverse square root 3 is pi over 3. Firstly I convert this calculator into from degree to radian. Now you see here this answer is pi over 3. Now we write it pi over 3. Now in the first and second quadrant, theta will be equal to this positive and negative value. That's therefore the value will be positive in tan value positive in first quadrant. This is the first quadrant and second quadrant. In the first quadrant, theta will be equal to alpha, and in the second quadrant theta will be equal to theta, and theta will be equal to 180 minus alpha. Yeah, you can say pi minus alpha because the range is given in the radian. Therefore, we write it pi minus alpha. Now, therefore, the answer is theta is equal to pi over 3, and second is the theta will be equal to pi minus pi over 3. That will be equal to 3 pi minus pi, that's equal to 2 pi over 3, and this is the answer. Question 8, the equation of the curve such that the dy over dx equal to 3x power 1 over 2 minus 3x power minus 1 over 2. The curve passes through the point 3, 5. Find the equation of the curve. Now to integrate on both sides, we get y will be equal to integrate 3x power 1 over 2 minus 3x power minus 1 over 2 into dx. Now, the integration of first term, we see that 3 is written as it is. Now, the x power 1 over 2 plus 1 divided by 1 over 2 plus 1. And same as here is 3 into x power minus 1 over 2 plus 1 divided by 1 over 2 plus 1 and plus c as a constant. Now, that value will be equal to 3 into x power 3 over 2 and that's minus 3 into x power 1 over 2 and that's equal to 1 minus 1 over 2 plus 1, that's equal to 1 over 2. Now we simplified that 3 will be cancelled and that value will be equal to 2 into x power 3 over 2 minus 2 3s are 6 minus 6 into x power 1 over 2. Now we x over 2 as a common, we see that x power 1 over 2 as a common. Now we can write it as 2x minus 6 y equal to 2x minus 6 plus c. Now we can write it as, to find the value of c, we substitute the point 35. Now y equal to x35 is the point P. Now we substitute it. Now the y will be equal to 5 and x equal to 3 power 1 over 2 and that's equal to 2 into 3 minus 6 plus c. You see here that value c will be equal to, and that's equal to 0. Now 5 into 0 plus c, the c will be equal to 5. Now we substitute this value in the equation. Now we substitute it. Now we get, we substitute in this equation. Now that value, it would become y equal to x power 1 over 2 into 2x minus 6 plus 5. And we can write it as also, now that's equal to 2 into x power 3 over 2 minus 6x power 1 over 2 plus 5. And this is the answer of this equation. Now find the B part, find the x-coordinate of the stationary points. Now this is the equation of the curve, and dy over dx equal to 3 into x power 1 over 2 minus 3 into x power minus 1 over 2. To find the stationary points, dy over dx will be equal to 0. Therefore, dy over dx will be equal to 0 for stationary point. Therefore, we can write it as 3 into x power 1 over 2 minus 3 into x power minus 1 over 2 equal to 0. Now we can write it as 3 is taken as a common. Therefore, the 3 is a common. That value x power 1 over 2 minus 1 over x power 1 over 2 equal to 0. And that's equal to x power 1 over 2 minus 1 over x power 1 over 2 equal to 0. Now we can write it x power 1 over 2 equal to 1 over x power 1 over 2. Now we cross multiply, that value become x equal to 1 is the answer. Or please state the set of values of x for which y increases as x increases. Now you see here for the increasing function dy over dx will be greater than 0. Now therefore 3 power x 3 into x power 1 over 2 minus 3 into x power minus 1 over 2. Now greater than 0, we see that 3 into x power 1 over 2 minus 3 over x power 1 over 2 is greater than 0. That value will be equal to 3x minus 3 over x power 1 over 2 greater than 0. Now you see here 3x minus 3 will be greater than 0, and that is equal to 3x greater than 3 and x is greater than 1. And for this inequality, and for these values, the function y is increases. Y increases. Okay, this is the answer. Question 9. Function f and g are defined by f of x equal to x plus 1 over x for x greater than 0, g of x equal to x plus 1, where a is a constant. Part A, find an expression for g f of x. Now here the function g of x is equal to ax plus 1. Now we substitute the value of x as a g of f of x. Now we write it as f of x, that become a into f of x in plus 1. Now the f of x function is x plus 1 over x. Now we write it as, now this is the expression of g of f of x. Given that g f of 2 equal to 11, find the value of a. In this part, where firstly we find the f of 2. Now you have the f of x equal to ax plus x plus 1 over x plus 1 over x. Therefore, g f of 2 will be equal to 2 plus 1 over 2, and that is equal to 5 over 2. Now, therefore, g f of 2 is equal to 11. It means g f of 5 over 2 equal to 11. Now, f of g of x is equal to ax plus 1. 1. Now we write it as, here g of f5 of 2 will be equal to a into 5 over 2 plus 1. Now the value substitute in this equation, we get 5a 5 over 2a plus 1 equal to 11. That will be equal to 5a equal to 11 minus 1 is 10, and that is equal to a will be equal to 20 over 5. And a is 4 is the answer. In question 9 part C, given the graph f of x has minimum point when x equal to n, explain whether or not f has an inverse. You see here the function having a minimum point. Therefore, this is the turning point of the function at x equal to 1. When the function has turning point, the function is not a one-to-one function. Therefore, the function is many-to-one function. And therefore, inverse does not exist. Part B, find and simplify expression g f inverse of x. Now, firstly, we find the g inverse of x here. Now, g of x equal to ax plus 1, but a is 5. Now, we can write it 5x plus 1. And we suppose that g of x equal to y. Then y will be equal to 5x plus 1. And that value will become 5x equal to y minus 1. And then x equal to y minus 1 over 5, and you know x equal to g inverse of y. Therefore, we can write it as g inverse of y will be equal to y minus 1 over 5. Now, g inverse of x can be written as x minus 1 over 5. We replace y by x. Now, we have to find g inverse f of x. Therefore, we write fx is replaced by f of x minus 1 over 5. Now, f of x is equal to x plus 1 over x minus 1 over 5, and that value becomes x square plus 1 minus x over 5x. And we arrange this expression x square minus x plus 1 over 5x is the answer. In the next part, E explain why the composite function ft cannot be formed. Now, here the part E, the composite function fg cannot be formed because the domain of f cannot be cannot include the whole range of g. You see here in this domain of f is x is greater than 0. Therefore, the negative values not included in this function. Therefore, composite function cannot be possible. In question 10, the diagram shows a cross-section RASP of a body of aircraft. The cross-section consists of a sector OARB of circle of radius 2.5 meters with the center OA, a sector PSB, another circle of radius 2.24 with center, and the quadrilateral OAPB. The angle between AOB is 2 over 3 pi and APB is 5 over 6 pi. Find the perimeter of the cross section RASP. And this is the cross section RASP. Firstly, we see here there are two sector of circle. One is ARB, other is ASP. Now we add this arc length. First is RAB, second is arc length is ASP. Now we find the arc length of this sector ARB and then in ASP. We know the formula of the arc length, that is will be equal to 1 over 2, that's equal to r into theta. Because the angle is in radian, the formula will be r into radian, that's the r1 plus into theta 1 and r2 into theta 2. Now you see here the bigger arc having the angle that is equal to 2 pi minus 2 over 3 pi, that will be equal to 4 over 3 pi. Now we substitute the values here. The R1 is 2.5 and the angle is 4 over 3 pi plus second radius, this is the R2, small arc length. Now this is R2, we write it 2.24 into theta 2. This is the theta 2 is the angle, that will be equal to 5 over 6 pi. Now we calculate it. 2.54 multiply 4 multiply 3.42 divided by 3 plus 2.24 multiply 5 multiply 3.142 divided by 6. The answer is 6.333 is the answer. Now the next part of this question. Find the difference in the area of two triangles OAB and triangle APB. Now the area of triangle AOB minus area of triangle APB. The formula of the area of triangle is 1 over 2 r square sine theta. You see 1 over 2 r square, we take the capital R for the triangle AOB and the sine theta 1. And same as 1 over 2 small r square sine theta 2. You know the radius of bigger circle is 2.5 whole square, and sine theta, now you see here the sine theta 1 is the 2 pi over 3. Now minus 1 over 2 into r square is 2.24 whole square, and sine theta 2, this is the theta 2, 5 or 6. Now firstly we find this value. Now 1 over 2 multiply 2.5 square into sine 2 pi over 3. The answer is 2.706. Now we can write it 2.706 minus, and now we calculate the second value. That value is 1.254. You see here 1.1 over 2 multiply 2.24 into sine 5 pi over 6. We get the answer is 1.254. Now we subtract it. 2.706 minus, answer, this value will be equal to 1.45 is the answer. 1.456 is the answer. Find the area of cross section RASP. Now you see here, this is the area of cross section. There are three regions. One is the area of sector ARB, next is the ASP, and third is the quadrilateral AOBP. You see here, this is the quadrilateral AOBP. Now we add all these areas of region, we get the cross sectional area. Now firstly we write this area of cross section ARB. Now the cross sectional area is equal to area of cross section ARB plus area of cross section ASP and the area of quadrilateral AOBP. BB. Now therefore BB. Now this is the, we already find this area of quadrilateral ABP. Now when we take in the part B, this you can see here, this is the area of quadrilateral AOBP. Now we write this value here 1.45, and the area of cross section ARB will be equal to 1 over 2 r square theta 1. Now we name the cross-sectional radius of cross-sectional ARB is our capital R. Now you see next is the area of cross-section ASP. We name it as 1 over 2 R1 square theta 2. Now we substitute the value. Here you can see 1 over R is the 2.5. This is the R, and that is, it can be written as 2.5 whole square into theta 1. You see here, this is the theta value, and that is that should be equal to 2 pi minus 2 over 3 pi, and this is the 4 pi over 3, and we can write it 4 pi over 3. And next is plus 1 over 2 is written as it is. R1 is the, this is the R, and that is equal to 2.24 whole square into theta 1 5 over 6 pi plus 1.45. Now we see the values. Now you can see here the 1 over 2 multiply 2.5 square multiply 4 into pi over 3. The answer is 13.08. Now we write it 13.089. You can write it 13.09. And the next value we calculate it. You can see 1 over 2 multiply 2.24 square multiply 5 power 6. The answer is 6.56. Now you can write it 6.57 and plus 1.45. Now we add all these values. Now you can see 13.09 plus 6.57 plus 1.45, the answer is 21.11. Therefore, we write it 21.11 is the answer. Question 11, part A. Find the coordinates of minimum point of y equal to 9 over 4x square minus 12x plus 18. Now, to find the minimum points of the curve, we take the derivative of this curve. Now, you take derivative with respect to x, dy over dx. Now, next is the derivative of 9 over 4x square. 9 over 4 is written as it is, and the derivative of x square is 2x. Minus derivative 12 written as it is into derivative of x is 1 and the derivative of 18 is 0. Therefore, the answer is 9 over 2x minus 12 dy over dx. Now you see here the minimum point. To find the minimum point, dy over dx will be equal to 0. Now we can write it as 9 over 2x minus 12 equal to 0 for minimum point, for minimum value. Now we find this 12 answer 9 over 2, x will be equal to 12, then x will be equal to 24 over 9 and that x will be equal to 8 over 3, and this is the point where the uh, curve is minimum value. Now to find next we substitute the value of x in y. Here we see x equal to 8 over 3. Now the y will be equal to 9 over 4 into x square is 8 over 3 whole square minus 12 into 8 over 3 plus 18. Then that value will be equal to 9 over 4 into 64 over 9 minus 96 over 3 plus 18. That value 9 will be cancelled and 4 1 is 4 and 4 6 is 24. Now 16 plus 18 that will be equal to 34 and minus 32 that value will be equal to 2. Then the coordinates of x and y 8 over 3 and 2. Now this is the answer. Now next part of this question you see here, this is the graph y equal to 18 minus 3 over 8 x power 5 over 2 and that is y equal to 9 over 4x square minus 12x plus 18. The diagram shows the curve with equation y equal to 9 over 4x square minus 12x plus 18 and same as y equal to this. Now the curve intersect at the point 0 and 18, 4 and 6. This is the point 0 and 18. 0, 18 is the point and that point is the 4, 6. This is the 4, 6 and that is 0. Now you find the area of shaded region. Now to find the area of shaded region, we integrate the both curves and take the difference. We get the area of the shaded region. Now you see here, this is the first curve y equal to 9 over 4 x square minus 12x plus 18 and second curve is y equal to 18 minus 3 over 8 x power 5 over 2 and the limits between 0 to 4 and we take the difference between these two curves, then the area of the triangle of this shaded region. Now we integrate it. Firstly, we integrate the first expression 9 over 4 x square. Now 9 over 4 x square is the integration. 9 over 4 is written as it is. X square is equal to x 3 over 3 minus 12x. The integration of x is x square over 2 plus 18 into x and the limit is 0 to 4 and the x is minus 18 integration of 18x minus 3 over 8 is written as it is into x power 5 over 2 plus 1 and divided by 5 over 2 plus 1. and that's limit say 0 to 4. X value will be equal to 3 over 4 x cube minus 6x square plus 18x. 0 to 4 is the limit. 18x x power 7 over 2 divided by 7 over 2, and that will be cancelled. Now area will be equal to 3 over 4. Now we substitute the value. Firstly, we substitute upper bound value. There, the value 3 over 4 power into 4 power 3 minus 6 into 4 square plus 15 into 4 minus. Now the lower limit is 0. The all values will be 0. Now 0 to 4. That's it. Limit 0 to 4. Now we have 15 into 4 minus 3 over 28 into 4 power 7 over 2. And that's still minus 0. Or the lower limit is 0. 18 into 0 is 0. Minus 3 times 0 is 0. Now that value would become 3 over 3 into 4 square minus 6 into 4 square plus 18 into 4 is 72 minus 18 into 4 is 72 plus 3 over 28 and 2 square, that can be written as 2 square into 7 over 2. 2 will be cancelled. Now 72 will be cancelled. And minus 3 into 4 square minus 6 into 4 square, that's equal to minus 3 into 16. That is equal to plus 3 over 28 multiply 2 power 7 is 128. 7 times 4, 4 sorry, 7 4 that 4 7 that 28, 4 3 that, and 2 that. Now that value is minus 48 plus 96 over 7. We calculate it. You can see here the minus 48 plus 96 over 7, that's equal to minus 240 over 7. And minus 240 over 7 is the answer. See a point P is moving along the curve y equal to 18 minus 3 over 8 x power 5 over 2 in such a way that x coordinate of P is increasing at a constant rate of 2 units per second, and find the rate at which the y coordinate of P is changing. Now you see here, this is the x coordinate of P increasing at a rate of 2 units. It means dx over dt is 2 units per second. And next is the rate at which the coordinates of P is changing. Now we have to find dy over dt. Next is the dy over dt, where the y equal to 15 minus 3 over 8 x power 5 over 2. Now to find dy over dx, dy over dt, that will be equal to dy over dx into dx over dt. Here dx over dt is 2 and dy over dt we can find by taking the derivative of this curve. Now we take it, dy over dx will be equal to 18 derivative is 0, c over 8 into written as it is into the power become coefficient 5 over 2 and the x power 5 over 2 minus 1. Therefore, that is equal to minus 15 over 16 into x power 3 over 2. Now here px is 4. Value of dy over dx at x equal to 4. Dy over dx will be equal to minus 15 over 16 multiply 4 power 3 over 2. Now we can write it as minus 15 over 16 multiply 2 power 2 into 3 over 2, that can 2 will be cancelled, and therefore that value is equal to minus 15 over 16 and 2 power 3 is 8 over 16. Now we consider that value is minus 15 over 2. Now we substitute this value minus 15 over 2. 2 will be cancelled. That's equal to minus 15 is the rate of change of y. Okay, this is the answer.